Language-based intelligence is not a real intelligence. Think about the kind of the apes. They can just peel out the apples and they can do anything, but they can talk like a human. So the intelligence is not only coming from the languages. Intelligence can come from the dexterities and moving your hand and just and interact with the natures. So that's why we claim that dexterity is intelligence.
So I'm Carl from RLWRLD. I lead US operations, and we're gonna go through some of the talks, starting with RealDex 1, which is our Dexterity first foundation model we just released last week.
Today I'll introduce about real world and why we focus on dexterity. Already we met over than 200 large companies around the world. All of them, they are facing the same problems. They just want to make their factory, their logistics place, their hospitality place unmanned, automated. Even though South Korea and Germany, they achieved 75% automation using existing old-fashioned robot, but 25% is done by human. About the US, in US case, 50% of labors done by human. Why? What is the hurdle? Hurdle is dexterity.
Amit Goyal, I head up our robotics ecosystem team and a product for Edge. My team works with partners like RealDex.
The RealWorld is part of NVIDIA's Inception program, and we work closely with the developers at RealWorld to integrate NVIDIA's technology. Today they announced the RealDex 1 foundation models that was built on NVIDIA's simulation technologies, NVIDIA's computing platform for inference and for training, and we're here today to celebrate there a lot. With the advancements that happened in reinforcement learning, the advancement that happened in reasoning, we saw a giant leap in mobility, right? So manipulation became the bottleneck that needs to be solved. A large amount of problems have to be solved in the manipulation space now that we have solved the mobility aspect. So that's why the emphasis on dexterity is really high.
My name is Yubing Ji. I work for AWS. So my position is a principal BD for frontier AI startups within AWS, and specifically focusing on physical AI. Two panels that we had today, they both mentioned data as the top bottleneck. I can imagine how many people are being hired today to actually collect the data, but the richness and whether that data is related to the application, especially in a very precision needed environment for dexterity hands, I think that's very much lacking.
There are so many companies claims that we are providing the humanoid AI robotics foundation model, but we are only one company focused on dexterity.
I think that dexterity not comes from only the well-developed model, AI model. Rather, it is a harmony of context-aware mechanisms and compliant but very precise real-time control, and then the AI model deeply grounded to the physical interaction.
So the problem is right now you see that there's a lot of really cool fancy demos of like robot dancing, or there's some earlier demos of manipulations with the gripper doing sort of tasks. I can tell you those tasks are very well handpicked because those grippers can do a lot of things. What they're showing is like what they can do, but like it's really what you read is like the things they don't show is what they cannot do.
There's a large gap between demos and deployments, and we're coming to a stage where deployments are going to be so much more important, not just on the hardware side and the learning side, but also on the business side on how our customers will change their operations to fit with the robots. And I think that's going to be a big challenge that we're going to be facing from now on.
It wasn't just a simple problem there. So we had one pin that was missing in one finger, and also there was some problem with a tendon. So we had to fix it in the morning, emergency case.
On the noon, the robot didn't work well, and we saw that every camera frame just dropped. And I was really worried about our demonstration and keep thinking about my pets. But thanks to Roy, every problem was solved.
Lifesaver.
Yeah, he saved our demonstration and it worked well, so I was really happy about it.
The GPT-3 moment of the physical AI is right around the corner. 3 pillars to complete this technology, including data, model architecture, and embodiment hardware, is now crossing the singularity moment. One model, we can control over 20 degrees of freedom, multi-fingers simultaneously. That means we can support every hardware in the world. This is world first. This robot grip this box. The other hand can get mouse. How can they open the box? Using his pinky.
RLWRLD was set a new state-of-the-art across every single benchmark. First, the architecture. Multi-stream design that integrates motion, memory, and physical sensing. This is the first way to bring all three together.
This is probably the final form of the end effector of a robot gonna look like. Right? Sure, you can have straight fingers, you can have grippers, but if you look at like 20 years, 30 years from now, I think when hand gets so cheap, when the robots can make themselves, right? Then that's where having robot hand will actually shine, right? It learns better from human data, and also it's easier to actually for deployment because it can do basically every task a human can do.
We believe that dexterity is really the true unlock for the last mile of industry automation, but as you can see from the panels and all the talks, it cannot be done or solved by just one company, not even NVIDIA.
This is one of the first open source model that do not use wrist camera. I think this is great.
RLWRLD is onto something really big, pioneering a lot of technologies around dexterous manipulation, which I think is going to be the holy grail. This year is going to be all about physical AI. We met with a lot of different startups in the physical AI space, everything from data generation, augmentation, human-centric data, versus traditional teleoperation data, platform as a service when applied to physical AI. So we're just seeing the broad spectrum across just all these different types of use cases as it relates to physical AI.
Congrats on the launch of the recent models and the great performance so far, and excited to see what you guys do.
Especially as a Korean company that's making some big moves now in the US market. We have players across the stacks optimizing all sorts of things. But I think the events earlier where you have origami robotics and other players in the space where RLWRLD works with, right? And you can kind of tell that you have literally a company optimizing this one part of the stack. Like RLWRLD optimizing just dexterity and model dexterity, and you have other companies working on the hardware one. And this happens across the stacks, right? And when you see that, that's when you know, okay, this industry is going to be supercharged quickly.
Big congratulations, RLWRLD. This is amazing. You put up new product release in such a short period of time. And you have great momentum, just like we say that it's going to be exponential, the growth. I'm seeing exponential growth from you already.
We're super excited to try it out and run it on OpenARM and better enhance the model together.
RLWRLD 1 is outperforming Root. That is exactly the purpose of what we build.
So my company and my model is like on the infant, just on the starting to just on the walk. So, hey, we just started, and in the humble way, we need your idea, we need your support, we need some collaboration. I love the animation. One of the animation my most favorite animation is Grand Lagan. One of their famous serif from that animation is that, I believe you because you believe me. So I believe my guys, I believe my employees inside of RLWRLD, and I also believe my guys out there, my teams, my ecosystems. So I'm alone, I cannot do anything. But as a team, we can do a lot of things. If we believe each other, then we can deliver a lot of the tremendous outcomes to the market. That's my belief.